Hello and welcome to Indalo Model Railway, where you may be wondering why is this not a video and why are these all just pictures. Well, the simple reason is because when I took a load of videos when I was setting up the layout, I transferred them from a memory stick and they've only just brought over the still images, which is a C.jpg file, and I've lost a lot of videos, but I've still got the still pictures. Today we're going to be talking about baseboards. Baseboard is how it all starts, with a flat piece of wood or something flat you can actually construct your layout on. I brought an 8x4 sheet of plyboard and a few lengths of timber. Now I constructed all them with screws and glue and put it all together, and it was all done in my living room because there was nowhere else to actually do it, but it was actually done with some clamps, a drill and a screwdriver, just putting it all together. And also could put a frame around the outside and the cross members across the middle to support the actual 8x4 sheet. Now all of the actual screws I countersunk as well to make sure that the surface was level and there was going to be no extrusion of the screws. Now in this video you're going to see a little bit more than just the baseboard and where I actually laid the bus wire. Now this is actually a photograph of me with a drill with the black and red wire actually twirling it together, and there you see the bus wire that will be the main feed for the power. Then I've situated it into the train room on its legs. I then started to actually put a big oval just to get an idea of what I can put on the layout to construct it, and making sure that all of the curves, the third radius, second radius curves was all put in place. This is a picture of maybe what you might see at the end of this video, an end result shall we say. This is what I prepared earlier. Now I did lay everything out with the stations, the platforms and all of the stuff I actually had in place ready to go, including the 3 radiuses, which is a second, a third and a fourth radius. Also the incline around the back there, which I will go through in another video. Now it's a 3% incline. Now that goes through a mounting area that you'll see a little bit later in the video, but I really wanted to get an idea of the perspectives about the 2 platforms, where I had them, would it work. Things were changing all the time. I was just laying this on a baseboard, like I've got a turntable there now, but I did actually think about it. Should I have it, should I not have it? And in the end I did actually decide to not have the turntable, and I took it off and just put a good shed in there instead. But you'll see here again another idea that I had, obviously with the incline, a 3% incline around the edge, with the all of the constructed platforms there as well. And also you see the bottom right there, this is the diesel shed that I bought from eBay. That it's a 2-lane diesel shed that they can go in and they can be maintenance and it can actually be fueled. Now around here now is where I'm starting to maybe do some weathering of the track, just to actually make it look a little bit better and not as polished and new like the track normally comes, and get an idea of the length of the platforms as well. Now, I've got a platform right along the edge there, and in later layouts I have actually changed that because I feel it was too close to the actual edge. Now I was going to actually put down a lot of cork that goes underneath, but I decided to actually buy some 3mm felt, and I covered the whole layout with this 3mm felt, and I tested it for colour as well. Would it take the colours that I needed to, the black and the brown, to do weathering and maybe road being black? It did. So I cut it, laid it out, glued it down overnight, weighted it down, and that's where I was. Then after that I started to lay the track, how I wanted to put it down, and started to do some weathering and some ballasting, but that comes more in another video. You'll see that soon. The other thing I needed to do is actually lay down the riser, the 3% riser that I had before I actually built any of the mountings. And here you see you're actually laying the 3% incline and also putting down the cork bedding for the track. Also then started to construct all the other mounting areas out of polystyrene, and also the area that was going to go underneath the big mounting. And I cut strips of card and I placed them over to form the shape of the mountain, making sure that I could still get the two carriages through there and the trains without any problems. There you see I've actually now latticed all of the card that I've actually put, and then I started to actually cover it. Also put lights inside as well, and there's one at night to actually show you the actual effect. Now once I actually covered it with masking tape to actually make sure it was solid, I then went on to start to form the rock faces along the incline, and I then used plaster of Paris to actually cover all that up. And then once I covered that up, I then washed it down with a PVA wash, and this is the corner mounting going around the incline there as you see it going up, and I covered that with plaster of Paris as well. And the idea here is to make it as rough and rugged as possible, like a mountain. Now after I'd done that and I got it as rugged in the position I wanted to, I used the airbrush and I actually sprayed it a nice colour. Now I got this inspiration from the mountains that I walk my dogs around in the morning, and it's like a grey browny colour. And this is the top of the mountain. You'll see there I actually sprayed that green, even though I did put some artificial grass on there like you see now on the runway. Now this is the runway. Thanks for watching.